Welcome to Stay Wavy TV. Enjoy and ride the wave.
It do. It's your boy Wavy, Stay Wavy TV, back at y'all with another WWE Monday Night Raw review. Let me start off by saying this, man. This episode of Raw last night, it was so boring and filled with pointless segments, no good storylines, that this 2.5 hour show last night, I swear to God, y'all, it felt like I was watching this show for 5 hours last night. Like, the only thing that I kept thinking is, when is this show going to be over? Why is this show so long? Because there was nothing going on. There was nothing of meaning going on. And when you have WrestleMania that's right around the corner, and we're hearing reports that WrestleMania ticket sales are extremely low to the point where they're discounting the ticket sales. Elimination Chamber is right around the corner. Those ticket sales are very low. And this is why. Why should people pay an asinine price for tickets when we're not even getting good, consistent shows of Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown? The only good thing about the WWE right now is NXT. And a majority of the good people that was on NXT was moved up to the main roster recently. So, of course, people are not going to continue to pay for this garbage. So, let's get into it, man. Let me start off by saying also, the best part of Monday Night Raw was the main event. The main event was a triple threat match for the Elimination Chamber between Gunther, Javon Evans, and Dominic Mysterio. And the person that won that match, he literally saved this entire episode of Monday Night Raw from getting a 0 out of 10 from me, okay? So, guys, we kicked off Monday Night Raw last night with the Usos yeeting in the crowd in 2026. When Jey Uso announced that he was back in a tag team partnership with the Usos, you would think that the yeet thing would be done, right? Because the Usos, they have their own theme song together. So why is it that the Usos are using Jey Uso's theme song? He literally is saying in the theme song, "It's just me, Us." Like, I feel like that's extremely disrespectful to Jimmy Uso, bruh. Come out to the Uso theme song. Stop yeeting in the crowd. Jey Uso was not in the main event picture no more. I thought we left this shit in 2025. But it seemed like we done brought it back into 2026. And also, I feel like Jimmy Uso is a better wrestler than Jey Uso. Jey Uso, bruh, every time I see this man wrestle, he's botching. Okay, Jimmy Uso is a much better in-ring wrestler than Jey Uso. Okay, so stop using that damn "It's Just Me Us" theme song. It's over. It's over. Okay, so while they were yeeting, Paul Heyman interrupted and he starts doing his usual, "Ladies and gentlemen, it's Paul Penguin Heyman from Batman," right? So Logan Paul then grabs the mic and says a whole bunch of gibberish. And the crowd was booing so loud that you couldn't even hear what Logan Paul said. Logan Paul is exactly what Triple H thinks Gunther is. Remember when everybody was saying, "Oh my God, man, you know, Gunther tapped out John Cena, the GOAT. He has nuclear heat." Guys, when Gunther came out for the main event last night, I swear to God, there was no cheers, there was no boos, just silence. Because nobody knew who he was. The Memphis crowd was turned up last night. They were screaming, "Whoop that Trick" the whole night, and Trick Williams didn't even come out because Trick Williams is on SmackDown. So the crowd was into it last night. This was a phenomenal crowd, but Gunther is a jobber. Gunther is not a superstar. He's not a star. Like, the fact that this man retired John Cena and made him tap, and he's still not a star and nobody still cares about him, at some point you got to say, maybe we should just release this guy and let him go somewhere else. Because clearly, the WWE, they've done everything that they can do to get Gunther over, and it still doesn't work, okay? So, Austin Theory starts talking and says that he was robbed by the masked man, who I believe is Seth Rollins. Then Adam Pearce comes out and tells Bronson Reed that he's in an Elimination Chamber qualifier next week. Then Los Angeles The Rock Knight comes out and says that he hopes that Bronson Reed is in the Elimination Chamber so he can whoop his ass. Then he calls Logan Paul a broccoli-haired bitch. I thought that was pretty funny. LA Knight tells Adam Pearce he wants to tag up with the Usos and face Division. So we end up getting a 6-man tag match to kick off Monday Night Raw. This opening segment was so random and all over the place. The Usos just coming out, yeeting in the crowd. The Vision coming out, Paul Heyman coming out. Just the way that this episode of Raw started last night. I'm not gonna say it was horrible, but it was just random and it was just all over the place. It just was not organized in my opinion. Nobody really had anything meaningful to say besides LA Knight, okay? So, in this match, I noticed that the Usos, they don't have any wrestling moves. The only thing that they can do is that Samoan kick. And the Samoan kick just looks so fake at this point, bro. I wish that all of the Samoans, Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso, Solo Sikoa, even Jacob Fatu, and I like Jacob Fatu. I wish all of these guys would add some new moves in the ring because they literally do the same 3 or 4 moves every match to the point where it's like you don't even want to watch a match that involves these guys because you already know what they're going to do. So Bronson Reed tackles LA Knight through the barricade. Bronson Reed's 300-pound ass suicide dive the Uso twins outside of the ring. And then Logan Paul knocks out Jimmy Uso, and Bronson Reed then does the tsunami splash, and the Vision wins the match. Now, after this match, the funniest shit I've ever seen on Monday Night Raw happened, bruh. So Logan Paul grabs the headset from Michael Cole, right? And as he's talking on the mic, the camera is like zoomed into his face, and out of nowhere, the masked man in all black curb stomps his face onto the announce table, bruh. This shit was pure cinema, bruh. This is 100% Seth Rollins. I hope that Seth Rollins is going to be on WrestleMania this year, man, because I have seen videos that Seth Rollins is 100% healed. So I think that this masked guy is Seth Rollins. Some people think that it might be Montez Ford or something like that. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure that it's Seth Rollins, okay? So backstage, we have a random crate, and this is what I talk about with this episode was garbage. We have a random crate backstage that says don't open until 2/28/26, which is the Elimination Chamber, right? That's the Elimination Chamber date. Adam is talking to the delivery man and says, what is this doing here? Send it to SmackDown. Pointless, who gives a fuck, right? So then one of the 20 El Grande Americanos says that he wants a title match against Dirty Dom, who's holding that Intercontinental Championship hostage. I don't even think he's defended that title one time since he's had it. This El Grande was Ludwig Kaiser. So next we get an Elimination Chamber qualifier match between Natty, Bayley, and Asuka. Who cares? All of them are jobbers. Asuka, she is a future Hall of Famer, but who cares, right? Asuka won the match. Bayley lost her 100th match in a row. You gotta feel bad for Bayley at this point because she's losing all of her matches for the past 2 years, and she can't even beat NXT wrestlers, bro. That is sad, bro. They basically turned Bayley into the Miz. Like, she's like the female Miz where she's basically a gatekeeper. You know what I'm saying? It's actually very sad. After the match, Maxine Dupree attacks Natty, and the crowd yells, whoop that Trick. Shout out to Trick Williams. So backstage, Abomination Femi shows up, and Adam Pearce offers him a Monday Night Raw contract. Obafemi says he needs some time to think about it, and then Rusev faces off with Obafemi. Rusev versus Obafemi is a solid match, but the fact that Rusev has barely won any matches since he came back to the WWE, this is pointless, right? Like Rusev back in the day when he had hair, when he was wrestling barefoot, when he was always with his girlfriend, like Rusev was actually one of the top mid-carders in the company. But in 2026, we got to be honest, man, Rusev is a certified jobber. Now, backstage, Stephanie Valkyrie, who I think is one of the most beautiful women signed to the WWE, she basically had a Bad Bunny Super Bowl performance because she said a bunch of words in Spanish that nobody like myself understood. Let's move on. Guys, at some point, bro, these wrestlers that are signed to the company that aren't American, at some point you have to at least try to get better with the English language, bro, because you know that the WWE is an American company, and you know that a majority of the WWE fans, we only understand English, okay? It's like, you don't see Rhea Ripley speaking Australian, I don't even know if that's but you don't see Rhea Ripley speaking Australian. She speaks English. She has a strong accent, but she speaks the best clear English that she possibly can, and I respect that. I love that, right? Shout out to Cody Rhodes. So Next, the heavyweight champion CM Punk comes out, and CM Punk, he absolutely destroyed Finn Balor while cutting this promo. So he's talking about his upcoming title match with Finn Balor, and he says that he takes pride in facing Finn Balor before Roman Reigns because he feels like Finn Balor has earned this ass whooping that he's about to give him. He says Finn ruined his last moment in the ring with AJ Styles, who was retired by Gunther, and then Dirty Dom and JD McDonald's makes his return for the first time since his injury. Shout out to JD McDonald's, aka JD McDonuts, man. Shout out to you for coming back. We missed you so much. No, we didn't. You're a jobber. We didn't even notice you were gone. So Finn tells him that they didn't come out to jump him. Finn lies and says that CM Punk's not the best in the world. He's the best in the world. And he says that when he beats Punk in Chicago, that will make the WWE better. This was a very super cringy, weird promo from Finn Balor. Punk tells Finn that he was a much better respected wrestler before he joined the Judgment Day. And I think everybody would agree with that. Finn Balor is great when he's solo. But ever since he's joined the Judgment Day, he's become a complete joke. Punk also called out Dirty Dom for holding that IC title hostage and never defending it. Punk dared the Judgment Day to jump him, but Finn Balor basically stopped Dirty Dom and JD McDonald's from attacking him. So next backstage, Rio gets interviewed. Oh my God, Rio. They got interrupted by the Kabuki Warriors. And once again, we had another Bad Bunny Super Bowl performance because they said a bunch of things that we didn't understand. They were screaming like maniacs. And like the Kabuki Warriors act like middle schoolers, bro. They just scream, say a bunch of stuff that you don't know what they're saying, and it's not even funny. It's just very cringy. So next we got El Grande Cappuccino versus Penta. Long story short, Penta won this match because the OG El Grande Americano, Chad Gable, came out and he dragged one of the other Americanos under the ring, slammed one of the other ones on the announce table, and he pretty much helped Penta win this match. Congratulations to Penta. Penta needs to grab that IC title from Dirty Dom, bro. Seriously, Penta, I feel like Penta has the potential to be a star on the level of a Rey Mysterio, but he just hasn't been booked well. He's been booked in so many pointless, stupid matches, right? So next, the New Day comes out and they announce that unfortunately Xavier Woods has a shoulder injury. This happened during commercial break, so it just goes to show you that Triple H has absolutely no respect for these guys, man. They probably won't even be with the company for too much longer because he doesn't know what to do with them. Lastly, we got the main event triple threat match that happened a little bit later after that show. But before this happened, AJ Lee came out to basically talk about her upcoming title match with Becky Lynch. And AJ Lee said that she paved the way for the younger wrestlers and she wants to fight all of the top female wrestlers backstage when she wins that title. And I love this energy from AJ Lee. But the fact of the matter is, guys, AJ Lee has only wrestled once since she returned 3 or 4 months ago. Okay, so AJ says that, you know, if she wins, she's going to defend the title at WrestleMania. We don't even know if AJ Lee is going to show up on a week-to-week basis if she somehow wins this title because, like I said, you haven't even been around since you came back. You showed up one time, you had the match with Punk and Seth Rollins and all that, and then you disappeared for like a month or two. So Becky comes out to the ring wearing shades, and I think the reason why Becky Lynch was wearing shades last night, y'all, is because she cut one of the worst promos I've ever seen in WWE history last week. Becky said that she made history the last 10 years that AJ was gone, and she plans on retiring her in their match. Let's move on. Backstage, Paul Heyman and Bronson Reed blames Adam Pearce for the Masked Man attacking the Vision again. Bronson says that he's going to qualify and win the Elimination Chamber next week. We all know that that's not going to happen because the Masked Man is going to stop Bronson Reed from winning that Elimination Qualifier. So let's get into the main event between Javon Evans, Dirty Dom, and Gunther. Let me just get this out the way. Gunther is a jobber. He will never be a star. Gunther is a jobber. He is ass. Like, bruh, Gunther is trash, bro. This man has got to be the most overrated, overpushed wrestler in WWE history, bro. There is nothing that Gunther does in the ring that is good, right? Like, Ric Flair, who's a senior citizen, can do better chops than Gunther. JBL, who I think is like in his 60s, can do a better clothesline than Gunther. Kane, who's the governor of some city in Tennessee, he does a better big boot than Gunther. You can't tell me one thing that Gunther does in that ring that is special. He's just overpushed. So, the best part of this match is when Javon Evans flew out the ring like Superman and he hit Gunther over the barricade. The young OG is bouncy. So the main event, this main event also really made me realize, guys, that Dirty Dom isn't a good wrestler. Everything that he did in this match, I swear to God, a middle schooler or a high schooler that is, in shape, they could do the same things that Dirty Dom did in this match. The fact that this man has held that IC title hostage for so long is criminal. But I guess when you're related to somebody in the WWE, like the Bloodline or Braun Breaker, right? His uncle is Scott Steiner, right? You get overpushed and you get things that you don't really work for. So Javon Evans was the only good thing about this match. Dom and Gunther did nothing special. Dragon Lee came out and hit Gunther with a ring bell outside of the ring. Dirty Dom then hit the 619 on Javon Evans, but he missed the frog splash. And then Javon Evans hit the OG cutter and won. Now, we got to talk about the Kevin Nash situation, guys. And this is also going to be a separate video that will drop today. This was a great way to shut Kevin Nash's old ass up, bro. Because he dropped a podcast video yesterday, right? And he was talking about how he thinks that Javon Evans is not urban enough and he's too Mr. Bojangles, whatever the fuck that means, right? Javon Evans wrestles better than 95% of the wrestlers on the main roster, and he's only 21 years old. They cannot do the moves that Javon Evans does in the ring, and I believe that's really why Kevin Nash is hating. Because Kevin Nash, you were never bouncy your entire career, bro. Like, you're very stiff. You can't really do too much in the ring. And listen, I like Kevin Nash, bro. I used to like Kevin Nash as a kid, but Kevin Nash, he can't do half of the stuff Javon Evans does in the ring. And I feel like his comments, I don't think Kevin Nash is racist, because Kevin Nash, he's been very vocal about where he stands as far as politics. But what Kevin Nash said about Javon Evans was some very stereotype, and it can come off as racist comments, bro. Like, because his name is Javon Evans, because he's black with dreads, you feel like he's supposed to be more urban. You basically were saying that you want him to be more hood. Basically, that's basically what you were trying to say. But, bro, every black person in America is not ghetto. Every black person in America is not from the hood. Every black person in America does not have to be a macho, gangster, tough guy, bruh. Javon Evans is himself. And that's why people like him. You know what I'm saying? Like, Kevin Nash, this is not the 1990s or the 1980s, bro. Like, you got to get over it, bro. You got to adjust to the times. Because there's so many times that I see you make comments like this on your podcast. Like, I seen you complaining about CM Punk wearing a shirt. Like, bro, Kevin Nash, you got to start thinking before you talk, bro. I know you're a wrestler and, you took a lot of bangs in the ring. Maybe it's not your fault. You are getting older. You tend to talk very slow on your podcast. Because I watch Kevin Nash's YouTube channel, right? But Kevin Nash, start thinking before you speak, bro. Because you seem like a person that just talks out of your ass and you don't really think about what you're saying while you're saying it. And your co-host, he's just happy to have a podcast with you because maybe you were his favorite wrestler growing up. Because I noticed your co-host never checks you. Your co-host should be telling you live when you're saying something that's wrong, brother. And he doesn't do that. He just lets you just say whatever you want to say. And, it's not a good look for you or your brand, bro. So this episode of Raw gets a 1 out of 10. That one is only because the young OG won the main event. I think it was a great moment for Javon Evans, who's only 21. He's going to be the youngest person to ever be in the Elimination Chamber. That's a great deal. So with that being said, man, it's your boy Wavy, Stay Wavy TV. Make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all click that hype button. Please thumbs up the video, share the video, and most importantly, let me know what you guys thought about this episode of Raw last night in the comments. It's your boy Wavy. I'm out.
Welcome to Stay Wavy TV. Enjoy and ride the wave. Welcome to Stay Wavy TV.